Hi everyone, welcome back to my Animal Crossing New Horizons series. This is part 20. In the last episode, we went ahead and gave Ponchi a new vacation house. I did try another new design for it. If you're interested in the design itself, go ahead and check out my last episode. I'll also put up a link for it right here. You can check it out at the end of this one. As usual, I have actually started up a new day. And we do have Isabel's broadcast here, which is pretty nice. She also is talking about Halloween, which is something that has happened recently. My Switch is a couple of days behind, so that's the reason why it does say Halloween right now. Either way, I'm pretty excited for today. We also have a chance to go ahead and redesign all of the villager houses, which is something I'm actually thinking of picking up in today's episode. I think it will be super fun. I'm also really not sure how much we can actually change the houses. So definitely I do have to go ahead and talk to Tom Nook before we start anything. It has also been quite a few days since I haven't really talked to my villagers. I also want to go ahead and check out the shop as this is something I was doing before. Either way, I did actually finally get Wardell to open up his shop, which means I have a lot of items, at least 5 items every single day, which I will be ordering from there. Here are the items that I did order in the last episode. Most of these are not present in my catalog yet, so that's the reason why I'm actually ordering it right here. But I'll also order a couple of items that I think I already have. That's mostly for the beach house that I'm trying to create, so hopefully I'll be able to get that done in one of these episodes. Now I did make my way back to the Paradise Island just to make sure that I do get the furnitures from this as well as the DIY recipe which is available. As for the animals, here they are. I don't think I'll be working on this island for today, but it's really cool to come here and just talk to everyone. Also, this is the first time I'm actually seeing Wade right here. Pretty cool. To be honest, this is my first Animal Crossing game, so I really do not know the names of all the villages, and it's pretty exciting when I do actually talk to someone new. As usual, I'll just look around the island and make my way back. But here is the message bottle for today. We also have other animals who already have their vacation house hanging out back here. Personally, I think it's pretty cute. I also really like the design of this island itself with all of these different facilities. As for the recipe today, I already own this one, so I guess I'll be selling this and looks funny. Well, I did make my way back to my island and did come into the resident services building to talk to Tom Nook. But before I do that, let me quickly check out the recycling box. As I expected, really not that many items as I did actually clear it out recently. I'd actually recommend you all to go ahead and check out your recycling box from time to time. Just because you might be able to find some unique items in there. Either way, I'm actually trying to find the dialog box for updating or remodeling a villager house right here. I remember Tom Nook talking about it, but it was so long ago that I did actually forget it. Let me try to see if I can actually find it right here. This one is definitely not the right option as it just talks about moving this villager house, which is definitely not what I'm trying to do. I might be able to go into the let's talk about homes option. And here it is. This is what I was actually trying to find. Now that I do know the option, I'm actually planning to go ahead and at least remodel 2 of the villager houses. Although I'm really not sure how many houses you can actually remodel per day. Let me quickly go through the selection. I'm gonna go ahead and select Coco. I think her house is pretty cool, but there are a couple of items that I would really like to add, especially with the expanded catalog that we do get at this point. But of course, we did have to actually pay up front. Although thankfully it is just 9,000 bells, which is pretty easy for anyone to afford. So hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and give her a new remodeled house. There we go, he does collect the amount right away. Alright, I'm pretty excited. I wonder how or what options we do get whether we do get the same options that are available in the vacation house or if it's a bit different. Either way, I think we are gonna go ahead and go over there. Alright, I did actually choose the interior to be designed first, so that is what we are gonna do today. As far as the dialogue goes, I think the one major limitation according to Tom Nook right here is that we cannot change the size of the room, which I think is pretty sad. I mean, changing the size of the room really does give you a lot more options rather than kind of working in the small space right here. Anyway, I think I'll go ahead and quickly work on the interior before we move on to the exterior of the house. By the way, this is the, I guess the initial design what Coco had. And here is the design I did give her. It is a pretty small house, so there isn't really a separate room for, I guess, a kitchen or a bedroom. Just have to kind of keep everything in the same place. So I did decide to go ahead and give this design right here. It is pretty simple and does have the theme still going with the sand or desert type. But of course, it does look way better than before, where there were barely any furniture in the room. I'm also gonna go ahead and change the exterior after this to kind of match this interior. But this is the items that I did use for the smaller house. Thankfully, these villagers don't really have a specific design or a specific item that you do have to use. So definitely, as long as you have these items in your catalog, you can actually go ahead and use all of them. Anyway, I also made sure that I can actually navigate through the house. I guess the only one space where you cannot actually navigate is right next to this bathtub right here, which I'm actually fixing. I'm also going to go ahead and remove the litter box as there is not enough space to kind of move around the room. But there we go. This is Coco's house. I'm just polishing all of these items to make it look more sparkler. I guess I have completely forgotten about this option. I think the only house that I did use this one was for that one greenhouse. But I've never really tried it. You do have other options other than just the sparkles. You can have a couple of butterflies or hearts coming out of each of these items. Now that I did plan the interior, I'm quickly going to make some changes for the exterior. As for the exterior of the house, I definitely want to have the dome-shaped house, which is right here. I think this is the kind of house you would see in a desert area. I'm also going to give it much of a browner shade like this one to kind of blend in with the design. There we go. There are other houses that I could use. These two colored houses, which would actually look good as well. But I'm going to go with a single shade, which is dark brown. Unfortunately, this means that the door would be not actually complementing the house design itself. So I do have to be a bit careful about the design. Maybe this light browner shade would go very well. It kind of looks like a vintage door. As for the door decoration, I did choose the fruits because why not? There we go. This is the exterior design for her house. And this is how it's going to look at night. Oh, alright. I guess I should have clicked on the plus button instead of the B button. So let me quickly make the same changes once again. There we go. This time I did select it. And now that we did actually make these changes, I guess we do have to wait till tomorrow for it to actually take effect, which means I do have to move a day forward. Let me quickly go ahead and do that. We're going to go back to Tom Nook and talk to him once more to make some changes on another villager's house. Here we are back in the resident services building. As usual, Tom Nook is pretty happy as he does get a really good business out of us. But that is all on this villager house. Well, here I am in the next day. I actually went back to see if Coco was in her house just to show the outcome of the design. But unfortunately, Coco was outside, so I did make my way back here. Let me quickly go ahead and talk to Tom once more. This time I'm really not sure which villager I would actually choose. I guess we can go with Chino. Let me see the list and see which villager I can actually pick up. We do have around 9 villages, so definitely a lot of more options, but I think I will probably go with Shino this time. Shino's house is pretty cool and I really like its wallpaper and design, but I think we can give it much of a bit more shinier golden touch, which I'm really excited for. I think Shino's and Ken's house is a bit more similar with the wallpaper and flooring, but the items are a bit more different. I think I might be able to make some changes and make it look much better than before. Now right here I did select to update the exterior first before we move on to the interior. This design for the house is pretty good, but I'm just gonna go ahead and change the color of the house itself. After some careful consideration, here is the final design. Of course, it looks a bit similar to Coco's house, but I think I went a bit different with the roof color as well as the door decoration. Anyway, now that we do have the exterior done, I think we can actually go ahead and work on the interior. Of course, I do have to make my way there. I guess we can actually go through the before of the house just to show it. So this is how it looks right now. And I will go ahead and make some changes, although I really like the furnitures for this house. But let me quickly work on it and show the after changes for this house, which I'm pretty excited for. Here is the final design for Shino's house. As I mentioned, I really did want to use this golden wallpaper in it. I think this gives a luxurious touch for the house itself. Just again, the space for designing is pretty small. You're restricted to this very small room, but I did really like most of these items that I put in this house. I think it does go very well. The only item that I kind of regret using is definitely the TV. But I guess if you do own a house, you would probably have a TV as well. So that is the reason why I used it. Anyway, that is all on Shino's house. Alright, I do have to go to the next day for it to actually take effect once again. But I'm actually planning to end out this episode here. After all, we did work on 2 different villager houses. I'd also like to know any feedback from you all. Please let me know in the comment section what you thought about the design for both of their houses. Also, if you did like this video, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel as it does help me a lot. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description, and I'll see you all in the next one.